Good afternoon, everyone. So today we are going to look at the executive section of the central government part, that is part of chapter 6. Okay, so we are dealing with polity, civics part. Now in the previous video we have looked at the president, we looked at the powers of president, eligibility, impeachment, etc. Today we are going to cover vice president and the president. So let's have a look at vice president. Now you have seen that in president section what we come across was Article 52, because Article 52 said that there should be office of president. Similarly, Article 63 says that there should be office of vice president. So Article 63 in the Constitution of India says that there should be office of vice president. Okay. Similarly, Article 74 says that there should be office of prime minister, and prime minister should head council of ministers. So let's look at the office of vice president in India. Now, in vice president, you have to remember Article 63. Now, Article 63 says that there should be office of vice president. Okay. Now, with regard to vice president, he is elected. Okay. So, he is elected in joint electorate of Lok Sabha plus Rajya Sabha. So Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, they have a joint sitting, and in that joint sitting, the vice president is elected. Now, for a person to become a vice president, he should be a citizen of India. Okay, 35 years of age. So minimum age should be 35 years and should be qualified, should be eligible to become a member of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so these are the qualifications, okay, which are required for a person to be appointed as vice president. Okay. So these are your qualifications. This is how vice president is elected. Then comes removal from office. Now, you remember how can we remove president or vice president? We can remove president, vice president by impeachment motion. Okay. So removal is impeachment motion. So when the impeachment motion is passed, okay, the vice president is removed from his office. Okay. Now, when impeachment motion is there, it should be passed by both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So both these houses passes the resolution and vice president is impeached. Now, if you look at the powers of vice president, okay, so removal is done, appointment is done, the election is done. Now let us look at the powers of vice president. So when you look at power, one is, he is, I told you a number of times that vice president is an ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. So he is ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha. So chairman of Rajya Sabha is vice president. Secondly, he becomes president when office of president is vacant. This means that if president is unwell, if president died, or president is out of country, or whichever problem is there through which because of that president is not able to exercise his duties, then who becomes the president? The Vice President of India. The Vice President of India, the tenure is 5 years. Okay, now he can resign from his office by giving resignation to president. Okay, so this is about the two important things about Vice President. Okay, now so these are the powers of Vice President. Also Vice President has other power like some administrative power, etc. Okay, now we are done with Vice President. Now we will look at Prime Minister, which is Article 74. So you have to remember the articles. It is very, very important. The article, whichever article is there, you have to remember it. Okay, now Article 74 of the Constitution says that there should be office of Prime Minister, and Prime Minister heads Council of Minister. Okay, now who is the Prime Minister? Now Prime Minister is a person who is a member of Lok Sabha. So Prime Minister can be member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Okay, now he heads Council of Minister. Now if you look at the Prime Minister, so Prime Minister is the topmost post. Why? Because Prime Minister is the real head, because the powers of President are exercised by Prime Minister. So President only does the signature or give his assent, but the real work is done by Prime Minister. And we have seen that because as per Article 52, what we saw that there should be office of President, and then later on we also saw that the President exercises his power through his subordinate officer, and Prime Minister is subordinate to President of India. Okay, so what can be the powers of President? Okay, one is appointment, ministers. So it is Prime Minister who decides who is going to be a minister. Okay, so you can say that Prime Minister forms Council of Ministers, and Council of Ministers is nothing but it is a group of ministers now which contains ministers like Cabinet Minister, then Deputy Minister, then Minister of State, okay, Minister of State with independent charge, etc. So all of these kinds of ministers are part of Council of Minister, and Council of Minister is a group of all such ministers. Second thing is allocation of portfolio. It means that Prime Minister says that which minister is going to be a cabinet minister, deputy minister. He also says that which minister is going to be an agriculture minister, or say health minister, or say Shiksha Mantri, Raksha Mantri, defense minister, etc. So who decides it? It is ultimately the Prime Minister who allocates, like, okay, this person will become a cabinet minister and will hold a rank of a cabinet minister, but will become an education minister or a home minister or a finance minister or an agriculture minister, and then you have small scale minister, small scale industry minister, etc. Okay, or minister of heavy industries, or minister of coal or renewable energy, etc. Okay, so Prime Minister allocates the portfolio. Third thing will be, he is the leader of Lok Sabha. Leader in the Lok Sabha. So of the government, who is the leader? Prime Minister. Apart from that, he orders Council of Ministers. He ensures that Council of Ministers are working well. The Prime Minister solves any issues which happens between two ministries. Okay, so these are few powers of Prime Minister, and one of the important is he makes the appointments. He also makes appointments. Like certain, so if you might have seen that there are number of topmost posts in the country, है ना? Like CAG, Comptroller Auditor General of India, है ना? And then Chief General Account Officer. Then you have CBI Director. Okay, so all these, there are a number of posts. So the person who heads these posts actually are recommended, the names are recommended by the Prime Minister. These are sent to President, then President just signs it, and then the person is appointed as the chairman. Okay? Okay? Then comes the other things about Prime Minister. Okay, now comes the Council of Ministers. So 74 ka part done, Prime Minister. Now comes Council of Ministers. Now, the Council of Ministers. So first, who appoints Council of Ministers? Prime Minister. Who allocates the portfolio to Council of Ministers? Prime Minister. Okay, so it is the Prime Minister who does all such things. Then you have portfolios. Now, an important thing is regarding qualification. Qualification. Now, the interesting thing is, a person who is not a member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, person not a member of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, person not a member of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha can become a minister. Okay, he can become a minister for he can become a minister for 6 months. Alright, so you have to remember this thing. So this is about Council of Ministers. And then other thing is that about the tenure. Now you knew that they are elected for 5 years. Now we are going to cover the powers. So what can be the power of cabinet, or basically we are looking at the powers of Council of Ministers. So if you look at the powers of ministers or the cabinet ministers, cabinet is the topmost decision making body of the government. So what is the powers of cabinet? Cabinet includes only cabinet ministers. So what cabinet do? One is formation of national policy on education, or any policy for farming, agriculture sector, or say education sector, or for public welfare, etc. Various welfare schemes, etc. are made by cabinet. So national policy, then schemes, policies, etc. are made by cabinet. Okay. Then you have control over executive. Because these are top level ministers, they have control over the subordinate officers. Okay, like there are various government departments, the ministers are under the control of cabinet ministers. Then making appointment. Now, certain appointments in their departments are made by the cabinet minister. Apart from that, there are certain posts for which if a person has to be appointed, its name has to be cleared by the cabinet. Okay, so making appointment. Then you have financial power. Then you have foreign affairs. Okay, now financial power, cabinet also has certain financial power, like the union budget is approved by the cabinet and by the president. So actually the cabinet officials or the cabinet minister only knows initially what is there in the budget, because the ministers propose that okay, our department needs 1000 crore, so Shiksha Mantri or the education minister will come and say that I need so and so money. So that is all happen in the cabinet. Then is foreign affairs. In foreign affairs, the diplomatic relations are actually conducted by the cabinet. So cabinet clears the name who is going to be the high commissioner or ambassadors, etc. Okay, so they also maintain foreign affairs, make key appointment, and have certain financial power. So this is about the executive part. So we are done with this executive part. President has already been covered, Vice President, Prime Minister, Council of Ministers already covered. So we are done with legislative, executive and judiciary. Thank you.